And we're back. Gray Matters Chatter. This is episode 12. I'm Josh.
I'm Jason.
Scott.
And our guest tonight is Maika Brandis. How are you doing tonight, Maika?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me. It's good to see all of you. It's been a while.
What are we drinking on, Scott?
So we got the Hoppy Holidays from NoDa. This is an Indian Pale Ale. So get ready for the faces.
I taste the hemp.
Oh, gosh. I
smell
it.
hemp. Makes me want to smoke a big old ganja.
Oh, it's so bitter.
Smoke that ganja.
Yeah,
That is
that's one.
That's a pleasant one.
I like
I'm
it.
not a fan of IPA, so.
That's fine. More for me.
Maika, would you mind telling us what you do on a regular basis?
I'm like, I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Gosh, you know that. So I'm the majority owner of Cape Fear Wine and Beer downtown in Wilmington on Front Street. I also play trombone and sing in the Phantom Playboys and the Madd Hatterz and the Port City Players. And I'm part of a nonprofit called Plants for Progress. If anybody wants to look at any of those things on the social medias, they're all there on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the whatnot. But really on a day-to-day basis, I just like get dumb tattoos and drink a lot and hang out with dogs. I don't know. It's pretty simple. It's 2020, man. Like, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, one of the goofy questions that I had written down for you, because I just recently heard that you had to go gluten-free, which is healthy and good, but I'd imagine as a person who is an advocate of beer, that is hard.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with that, which at first I was like, if I can't have any of it, I'm just going to quit all of it. Like, I won't even drink a gluten-free beer. But there are some really good gluten-free beers on the market. McKellar, they have a San Diego brewery. They're distributed by Proof out of North Carolina.
I know nothing of this. Keep going.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
I don't know it, but I love it. So McKellar Brewing Company, originally from Denmark, but they have a San Diego facility. They put out 3 like really weird but really cool non-alcoholic beers this year. They put out like a non-alcoholic hazy IPA, like a NANE IPA, like super cool.
I want to try this.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they put out like a non-alcoholic kind of summery wheat thing, like a wheat with a little bit of citrus and like some coriander, and then like
But is that like a touchless hand job?
I mean,
there's no booze.
a touchless
There's
hand
no
job
finish
is
line.
better than no.
yeah, I literally, you said that, and my brain went, what the hell is he
I was
talking
like,
about?
but no, for me, like I
more
just
brain
drink
fog.
a lot of wine and cider and mead and like seltzers because it just doesn't remind me that I can't drink beer. If I'm
Yeah.
drinking like NA beer, I'm like, I really miss beer. But if I just drink like a bunch of like cheap ass Vino Verde, I'm like, I'm just a classy white lady drinking drinking a lot of white wine, getting real drunk and like try to not send pictures of my boobs to dudes that I know,
I was telling a friend of mine as I am getting older, and I just look at a hamburger and gain 4 pounds, and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a lady in this. He was asking me, he was like, what should I drink that has, because he was like getting, what did he say? Dave's like trying to look for beer that is no carbs.
Yeah, no carbs. He's trying to
So
cut
I
out
was like,
carbs.
hard kombucha.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay, so kombucha is awesome. It's really good for you, but all the enzymes and the probiotics and
Healthy
whatnot,
gut.
a lot of people's Tums are not used to that. Like the first time I was like, oh, I'll go to a kombucha tasting. I'll drink a bunch of kombucha. And then like, yeah, exactly. And then like,
I've still never had it. We need to go to Panacea.
oh, I have some at Cape Fear that's made by the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company
Nice.
in Asheville, the North Carolina facility.
Okay, definitely have to come by and try that.
Theirs is called Strange Brew, STRAIN, like Strange Brew. Super good stuff. But
Great movie. Don't you know?
Take off, you hoser.
So as somebody from Canada, you've got to have seen that movie. One of the things I've heard you be called on, or I think you embraced it. They said you're a country fried Canadian something else, rockabilly. And I was just like, wow, she is Canadian. She grew up most of her life in the South, but then she traveled, and she's a musician. I can't remember the term now.
There's a lot going on right here. Like, there's a lot. There's like the Canadian thing, the Jewish thing. I played music. I wrote the bar.
Happy Hanukkah, by the way. Is that in 2 days?
Happy
Yeah,
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah starts in 2 days. I brought my teeny little baby menorah.
All I know is
nice.
that's not Christmas. I don't know the Christmas Hanukkah. Dreidel.
I made
Dreidel.
you. Well, no, I'm not gonna sing that one. That's the South Park one.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know. Sorry.
Funny, but really inaccurate. Like,
Yes,
very
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Like, and I think those guys are actually Jewish, so they can get away with
Yeah.
that. But like, if you're not Jewish, I'm like,
Well, on that note, Jason, will you tell us something new about the shop today?
Oh,
Or
wow.
within the last Black Friday since we've seen you?
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Small Business Saturday was like Black Friday here, and sold a lot of guitars, and I've gotten a lot of new stuff in, and some handmade stuff. I got some canjos that are made out of old beer cans.
Damn.
That are on
What?
reused wood
I know I saw mine
and
over here. It's
tuning
really
tags.
cool.
Yeah, I've been selling a lot of those.
I thought you
Yeah.
made that.
Yeah, my brother did.
Well, that's awesome.
Went to Winston-Salem yesterday, and went to a warehouse. There was a guitar company that was closing up shop. They're retiring, not because of COVID. They're not closing down. They're just retiring. And,
Yeah.
got to go through there like a kid in a candy store and just buy a bunch of stuff.
I want this. I want this.
It's like,
I want
man,
this.
I'm gonna be broke by the time I'm done with this.
All of
Yeah,
it.
you went to a brewery. What brewery?
I went to give me 1 second on that. It was
His
super
notes?
super cold, and it was one of the only breweries that was open on a Monday, and it was it looks like the Black Label skateboard logo.
Oh, that's cool.
In what's that say? Incendiary.
Oh, incendiary.
Yeah, I went there.
Incendiary.
I went there last night. We stayed for like 4 hours, and yeah.
Dang, I haven't even heard of them. They must be real new. But that
Yeah.
beer looks good.
That's Asheville?
No, and then Winston-Salem
My bad.
downtown, and they're actually in an old train station. Like,
That's cool.
yeah, and like
Jinx.
Jinx.
it's really cool. Like there's a pizza place next to it, and we were there for about 4 hours. We're like, we're gonna have one beer, and then we ended up like 5 beers.
I don't know
in.
what that beer was, but it looked like grapefruit juice, and I just really wanted to drink it.
Probably got
Yeah.
citron hops.
It was like a saison orange, something that was very like a summer beer in a way. But they have like some heavy porter stouts there and stuff, like a milk stout, and then one was like 10%. It was insane. I didn't get it, but it was
Yeah, because you wanted to still like be able to function.
yeah, definitely.
We're drinking Silent Night Noche. I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I'm not going to stop. Mother Earth Brewing from Kinston, North Carolina. Imperial Oak Blanton Bourbon Barrel Aged. 9.5. I saw 9 on the bottle, though.
Man, that smells
That
wild.
smell. It
This
literally
beer?
like you can smell that it used to be in a bourbon barrel. Like
But
you,
I can smell the chocolate cocoa.
Oh,
you can
my
no,
God.
definitely smell that too.
Thank you, Fermental.
Yeah.
But don't forget about Cape Fear Wine and Beer.
I know, but I love fermental. I
Oh,
love
me
Steve and
too.
all them.
They've got
Those
the goofy
homies.
beers too, like the weird ones. I saw one made of cocoa. What is it? It's like got cocoa pebbles. It's got fruity pebbles. It's got Count Chocula.
That cereal
also
thing.
have
Oh
that.
my god, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't pick any
I
of
wanna
that
try
up,
that.
but like I'm so glad Steve did because I was kind of curious.
Steve actually got the IPA coffee, or
Really?
I mean the PBR coffee.
Ugh.
I didn't think
wait.
that was available
PBR
for district.
I
coffee.
thought that too.
Oh, it's gross.
Somebody
I saw it.
just told me the other day they saw it there. I don't know. I haven't seen a picture of it. I haven't
Why
been
would
there.
you mix PBR and coffee?
It's
coffee?
it's
It's
been
real too.
fucking
It's not like the
hard.
Mountain
I
Dew
was
moon
like,
pies.
it's
Those
been
aren't real.
popular.
I looked them up.
You guys, because
Wait a second. When was Mountain Dew moon pies a thing? I want
They
that.
weren't. It was a
I've
thing
been-
online.
I've been trying to
It
find
didn't
it.
exist.
It's like weird because like all my friends up in Pennsylvania can get it.
yeah, and you can
all
get it
my-
like all over the Midwest.
Yeah, my cousin get it in Texas, and he's bringing me some. Actually, maybe we should sample it. But
Can we order it?
I don't know.
I don't think you can legally ship beer.
There's
I know
new
you do
things.
wine,
Yeah,
but-
and you can do mead. I found from Arizona, you can get mead from Arizona.
Certain
Yeah.
states you can't, like Ohio, you can't get Duplin winery. So.
And there's certain percentages that you can't. You might have to go through a distributor
Yeah.
or your local bottling area, store.
So I don't know how PBR coffee I heard was at Fermental, but I did hear it was there.
Yeah.
Somebody let me know.
But I mean, I can't get what is it? heady topper.
Yeah.
No,
well,
they
I
don't.
know-
Have, they don't have. They
I
don't have
tried.
distro.
Y'all are gonna
Yeah.
laugh at me, but you know that I was raised on Def Leppard, so
Oh yeah, pour some sugar on you.
They have their own beer through Elysian Brewing, which is in Washington, and they did one run of it, and it was so damn popular.
I can't get
They
it.
couldn't get it in any of the music venues when they were going to do, so they just did another round of it this year.
You're hot.
But I'm hoping it will get
I
over
want to
here.
finish the whole Def Leppard.
We know
song.
Iron Maiden has a beer with
Yeah.
English brewing company called
What?
Robinson's. Yeah, they actually have a couple.
That's a good beer.
They have Trooper, and then they actually just released a new one that's fermented with they just released it. I don't even know if it has importation in this country yet, but it's made with like sake.
Megadeth had a beer too.
Okay,
with
heard about
with
that.
Unibrew out of Quebec.
I have one in my fridge. It's out of date, but I have it.
We
It
need to
might
do an
not be
episode of
super
that.
good,
We
I
have to
think.
have an episode of nothing but banned beer.
I heard fucking Clutch has a beer.
Yo, fucking NoFX had one with
Yeah.
What?
NoFX had one with Champion Brewing Company
I'll
out
try
of
that.
Virginia.
It
It
was
was
so
called
weird.
Stickin' in My Rye.
It was
I got
so
set to
weird
stick it in
because
my
it was
rye.
like it was like sat between like a shitty beer and like a good beer.
Yeah.
It was like they poured them in together and said, "That's good."
No, they did another one too with Stone Brewing Company, and oh my
Dude,
god, I
Stone's
forget the name of
bad.
that.
I like
yeah,
Stone.
I
no
love
FX
Stone.
have like 2 collab
I would
beers.
like to try that.
And it was all dressed up like Punk and Drublick because we had it for a Grey Matterz chatter or Grey Matterz bash. Yeah, thank you. And
I remember that too, but there was a beer called Punk and Drublick that wasn't affiliated with NoFX, but it should have been. It was Coronado Brewing Company out of San Diego, and it was their pumpkin beer.
I like
pumpkin.
Coronado.
this was not pumpkin.
Pumpkin Drublick, but yeah, like
This one tastes more like I remember it tasting like a IPA that somebody opened before I tasted it.
it was a session IPA.
Yeah.
The Stone NoFX collab was a session IPA.
A little off subject, but on the same subject.
Yeah.
Wine, 19 Crimes just released a Snoop Dogg wine.
Oh, is that the
I
one?
tried it.
Oh, wait, is that
That's
the one
the
where
one.
you take the video
Yeah.
and it shows them like talking?
Yeah.
That is the greatest marketing
That's
ploy
such a good-
ever.
They do it with the
Yeah.
Walking Dead wine.
Yeah.
That's a sales marketing gimmick.
It's, I
but
love it.
but
I when I found
the
out
Snoop
about it, I was
Dogg
just
is
going back
good.
and forth.
it's good.
Oh, speaking of Walking Dead, we just keep going from like topic to topic. Terrapin had a Walking Dead beer that was like a blood orange IPA.
Was that
Whereas
any
we get
good?
blood orange because the shit was bloody. I don't know if they make it anymore, but it was hella good. Because they filmed like a lot of The Walking Dead kind
Atlanta.
of in and around
Yeah.
Athens.
Yeah,
I
you're
think.
right.
Yeah.
You're definitely right.
Yeah.
You're talking to a movie guy over there. So actually, now that you said something about Lecter, or I did, and then we did, would you say one of the things I'd like everybody to know that doesn't already know, in the early days of Cape Fear Wine and Beer for the Port City, Cape Fear, Wilmington area, what was one of the cool things he had to go to bat for because we couldn't have high octane beers here?
Yep.
And I know it's old school and you have to tell a lot of people in this story, but it's a really cool story.
I am proud of this. I will talk about this whenever I'm given the opportunity. So up until 2005, early 2006, you could not get beers in the state of North Carolina over 6% ABV. And so there was a huge movement that my business partner Lecter was part of, and a lot of other distributors, breweries, importers, everybody was like super all about. Because back in the day, all you could get was like, we had a good beer selection. You could get a lot of like Sierra Nevada and Rogue, and you could get like, Lost Coast and all the kind of domestic stuff. And then for imports, you could get Fuller's and whatnot, but you couldn't get any high ABV Belgians. You couldn't get Delirium. You couldn't get Orval. You couldn't get Rochefort. You couldn't get like Icebox and Doppelbox. It was like you could really only get so much. So everybody in the state of North Carolina kind of pulled together, had this huge grassroots movement, petitioned state legislature to overrule the basically prohibition era law saying you can't have beer over 6%. And now we can have beer up to 15%.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because now we get all this stuff. Like we wouldn't have been able to have Silent Night. We couldn't have had Chimay. We couldn't have Paul and her Salvatore Doppelbock. Like there was so much that we were missing out on.
Any
Like,
of
didn't
these,
you
but
have
I
to
want to
He
now.
had to stand in front of a judge.
You need to come see me.
He had to stand in front of a judge and like.
I know, and he had to put on long sleeves because we all just look like a bunch of hooligans, And it was
Look
just like,
professional.
Yeah.
yeah, we had to like, you gotta
I
get
promise
get
you,
the
I'm
old-
not drunk.
get the old suit jacket on, and
We need more beer.
And we need
Yes,
higher
yeah.
octane beer.
I
Like,
could still have enough beer. There's more beer. No, it was really cool. We're really proud of that, and I'm very proud of my business partner, and I'm really happy that we get to sell so many of the world's beers that we couldn't before, and now we can.
well, I was also telling Scott, he goes, holy cow, Delirium's having a church or whatever, and I was like, Micah does it all the time.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, beer church is my thing. So before COVID, we would do a beer church every week. Beer church is you come into Cape Fear, you enjoy the beer
So
or
very
beers on tap, bottle, can, whatever, and then providing you got there at first mass or second mass, yes, we're like actual church. We have like masses.
That's awesome.
The first mass is at 1 p.m., second mass
That's
is at
when
8
you wanna
p.m.
get
It's
your
like
cups.
that's when we do church. So we would do it every week. You know, you'd come in and get to enjoy your beers and hang out with the reps and get like free swag and get to kind of do the whole thing. Then COVID hit and we just couldn't do beer church. Like I've had 2 beer churches since March, and I'm just like, ugh. And so part of Beer Church too is there's an international organization called Beer Church where you are bound to have 4 charity events a year, which was for me.
I didn't know that.
Nope. Oh yeah. No. So originally
cool.
we did like 4 charity events a year. So like every, third Beer Church we do a charity event. But then I thought, well, shit, I'm doing Beer Church like every week. I might as well do 1 charity church a month. And so I was doing 12 charity events a year.
That's
and
awesome.
like it was great. And it would be local, it'd be statewide, it'd be international, it'd be like, whoever needs it, whenever they need it, we'll do it. It's been really rough, but we're still doing beer church. So the next beer church we're doing is going to be on what's the Sunday? Damn it! Why did I drink so much before I tried to talk about beer church?
I don't know.
It's the
It's fine.
Sunday.
It happens here a lot.
It's the Sunday before Christmas, so I think it's December 20th. We're doing
20th.
Delirium Beer Church, and the Delirium glasses are super cute because there's these cute little stems, and they have little pink elephants on them. We're gonna have Delirium Noel on tap, and we're gonna have Delirium Tremens, which is Delirium Tremens is like their flagship. It's like that really awesome 8% Belgian golden strong, like
Tan,
beautiful,
pink elephants.
so gorge.
And baby blue, Tar Heel looking blue. Like
I know it's like baby pink and baby blue.
that was like that's how I cut
Badass
my
beer.
teeth on freaking high octane beer. I was like, wait, there's a lot of flavor notes here. There's a lot of alcohol here. I like this.
It could be strong and taste good.
Wait, and then you're like, what are esters? Because I'm tasting a lot of them right now.
I
Like,
thought it was my grandma's friend's name.
I mean, I drink one of these and I feel like I had 12 of the domestics.
I know, and people are like, how come this beer is $8? And I'm like, because it's worth $8.
Yeah, because it would take you about 3 of the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, you're going to introduce Turtle Tensile from where? Surf City?
Surf City.
Yeah, Salty Turtle, that's my
Okay,
boys.
yeah.
Surf City, NC.
So Surf City, yes. My brother actually screen prints their T-shirts.
Seriously.
Yeah, over at Daz Tech.
And that's
Nice.
Scott's like tromping ground or tramping
Oh, dude,
ground.
that's my hometown.
Stomping ground.
I grew
Wait,
up in Surf
I
City.
heard Trump, and I was like, what?
Oh.
No.
No, we're not doing that.
I think I made up my own word, Trump. I don't even think that's a word. Trump.
Well, no, Trump is a word.
I have the floor.
The floor
You got the beer and the floor.
So yeah, this one is I got a Christmas tree with a nice sleigh and some turtles pulling the sleigh.
brewed with cinnamon, ginger, local honey from Burgaw. And it's super Christmassy, and I don't hate it.
I like salty turtles.
You know, like October, I gave you a pumpkin stout, and you were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's going on here?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, it's not for everybody."
No,
But
I like
this
stout.
is actually nice.
So they have a really badass Mexican lager I like.
Their Barnacle Bills, which is one of their flagships, like we put that on tap at Cape Fear
Isn't it Highway 50s?
all the
But
time.
that is really good. I like that.
Oh, the Highway 55 they did. It was a one time. It was like a goza with blood orange.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
it was
right.
super tasty.
It's
I had
not
that on tap.
55. It's 50.
Highway 50?
Highway
Okay.
50.
Yes.
So one of the good things about Salty Turtle is they actually some of the proceeds go to helping sea turtles.
Oh yeah, no. There's the turtle hospital. If there's any sea turtles that have any injuries, they bring them in, they heal them up, and send them back out. They also are the ones that are in charge of turtles lay eggs in nests. They'll block it off so no tourists or locals accidentally damage it. And I actually was able to go to a couple of the eggs hatching. And it's awesome to watch just hundreds of these little turtles come out and go down into the
That
water.
is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It is amazing to watch.
They also use biodegradable
the-
can
Oh,
holders.
the
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
4-pack
to save
holders.
the turtles.
Because I mean, even as a kid, you remember seeing those
Yeah.
poor turtles.
So some breweries have ones that are biodegradable, which is cool, but then some have some that are actually
edible?
like edible.
Yeah,
And
I've
I'm
seen
like,
those.
what do they taste like? Do they get you high? I mean, edible.
Yeah.
I hear edible, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But
That would be
they're
cool.
better than biodegradable.
Okay.
So when they do eventually end up in
Someone
the
could eat them.
waterways, somebody could eat them.
You could feed a small child with the one.
And Salty
I will-
Turtle is veteran owned as well.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I
yes.
think he's a former Marine.
Yeah.
And
I
They
don't
do a
know what
thank you
branch.
for your service IPA.
Yeah, we actually had that on tap last week. It's called "Thank You for Your Service IPA."
I didn't try that one. I don't
It's
know.
good. Well,
I
you're
wanna try it.
not a hotbed.
I
but it's good.
believe he bought the building while he was still overseas,
Oh, really?
like doing business
There's
to
3
start
owners.
this brewery.
And
Yeah,
I
one of
will
the
say
guys.
that I
yeah.
did find out from her last name's Pickles because she goes, it's like the food pickle. Kelly Pickle. She was working there and she said she's been there since the beginning. She actually said WCT got it incorrect. They did not expand across the street, adjacent across the street. She said that they are expanding though because distribution is getting such great reviews.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
They're selling a lot of beer.
They literally, like this beer came out November 26th and we're trying it right now, which is awesome. But they opened, so their, I guess, 4-year anniversary would be December 29th. And they were the first place in Pender County to open a actual brewery.
Like a production brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have it. Like I was living in Surf City in 2013, so this didn't exist then, and I'm kind of sad it didn't. Like it would have been really
But you
awesome
guys,
to
like,
go there.
craft beer has blown up, not just in Wilmington and
yeah.
like New Hanover County, Brunswick County, Pender County, all the surrounding
9-1-0.
counties. But like, I got into the beer industry here in 2006, and there was like, Asheville was cool, had some stuff.
Yeah.
Raleigh was cool.
Yeah.
Charlotte was cool. Wilmington was like, we had Front Street Brewery and like Lighthouse. Holy
Well, I
God damn, you guys, it
pretty
has blown up. It has
Yeah, it
blown
has.
up just across the whole state, but like so much here in Wilmington. It's been, oh my God, I just forgot, you guys. I was telling you about this earlier. Mother Earth, they made that tomato beer. Did you guys hear about that?
Okay, I haven't tried it, but
Okay,
I want
okay,
to.
okay.
I've read the reviews. It sounds interesting.
So, I mean, I don't know how often they make it. I think it's kind of only like brewery only.
So like the
So
flagship, like
no, it's not a flagship because flagship for them would be like the Kolsch and the Wit
You're right.
and like the Dunkel.
But
and
what
like,
I found out was it was, what is it, Stephen Hill, the owner,
Mm-hmm.
and his son, which is Trent.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that they tooled around with that took off, and it like blew up, and they were like, people dig it.
So like I was on tour with the Phantom Playboys and we played Mother Earth's tap room called the Red Room. It's like a couple hours before the gig and they're like, yeah, come into the brewery. And actually my buddy Adam Mundy was the head distiller there for a while. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go see what's up with my dude. And they have this tomato beer on top and nobody in my band wanted to try it. Because they're not adventurous. I'm
It's a
calling all of
weird
them out.
sounding
But I was like,
beer.
oh, I'm gonna have a pint of this.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
need to
not gonna
know.
lie, it was like it in a pint glass, you could see the it was real tomato. It wasn't like
Sediment.
So like it was
it
Bloody
wasn't like-
Mary-ish.
it was Bloody Mary-ish, but without the like additional Bloody Mary stuff that you put
It's
in,
like the
the
Alchemist
kind
have
of
the avocado
pickle
beer,
juice
and
and
you can
whatever
see
else.
the avocado sediment in it.
But see, the problem with fermenting with things that are fat based, you can't.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
just sit
ferment.
there on top.
You can't ferment with things that are fat based, and like avocados, it's a good fat, but it's still like fat. What do you?
Sorry,
I love that.
That's why
Avocados.
nobody's ever fermented with
You can't
meat.
do that. I was like, so there's never gonna be like a hamburger.
There should not be. Somebody tried to make a pizza beer, and it was like they didn't actually put any pizza in it. They just basically put like some basil
Oregano?
and some oregano and some tomatoes spice. And I was like, "Ugh, that's not actually a pizza beer. Like, what's
I would totally try it.
Speaking of nutty information that I'd like to just segue with that, I found out that a moon is a measurement of honey that they would give honey wine that they would give you
Honeymoon is.
oh, a
honey-
honeymoon?
a
Yeah, on your
honeymoon.
honeymoon they give you mead.
instead of a
Yeah.
pint. They're like, here's a moon
A
of
month
a honey wine so you can go get drunk
and make babies.
and make babies.
Well, here's a few minutes of honey for
Yeah,
us.
so
I
right now
suppose.
we're
Micah
sipping
brought
on
this.
a mead, which I've actually never had. I'm
I
very
love
curious to
mead.
see what this tastes
So
like.
this is Chaucer's mead. This is like straight up OG mead. Like the only ingredients in it are honey and water and yeast. It is
Smells like
so-
wine.
So good.
So, funny story. Actually, the first time I ever had mead was at your bar.
Yep.
Viking's blood.
Oh.
And I have a couple of those old bottles, like they're made out of ceramic, and
Yes.
they're real ceramic. I have them on my fridge.
We can't have Viking blood anymore because it's fortified.
Wait, why not?
Why?
It's 19%, you guys.
Heartbroken.
It's fortified, and we don't have a fortified permit.
Oh.
We can't have it anymore. But we have Chaucer's, which is like has become our new go-to. It is so good. So Chaucer's, they have a couple different flavors. This is the plain, which is like our go-to.
What is something that you would tell somebody about this? Like, why is it so badass?
Because it's mead. Because it's what the Vikings drank. I mean, like,
Well, Chaucer's version of it. You said this is one of the badassery.
oh, it's just like epitome of mead. It's just
this
like
is a sipper.
crisp. I know. And
Yeah.
Petty went real hard with them pours, and I'm
And
like,
Scott's chugging it like it's a beer.
I'm chugging it too. I'm with you, Scott. I'm right behind you.
I'm thoroughly enjoying this. This is my first mead.
I do want to take a moment to go. There's one cool thing that you didn't mention earlier that Cape Fear Wine and Beer does that nowhere else does in town. You infuse beers.
oh, darling, the Randall. No, Randall was a thing like a billion years ago.
Oh, that was so cool. Though.
So no, Dogfish had created this infuser, which you hook up to a keg, and then the beer flows in one end, and then the other end has ingredients. Like, say, if you have a stout on and you want to fill the infuser with coffee, with cocoa nibs, with whatever, or say you have an IPA going through and you want to put some fresh hops and some grapefruit.
Yeah, because I had one that was like an IPA that you guys infused with lemongrass and I think mangoes or something.
This
yeah,
sounds
we used to get
awesome.
wild.
Yeah, I
I
want
want
to
to try it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember Rita telling me about
it was
that,
like,
and then-
Randall was. So the thing about the beer scene is
Is Randall
everything.
a person?
No, Randall.
Randall Parkway?
No, Randall is he's Randall the enamel animal. He's like the device that you infuse all the beers with. The beer trends come and go.
Yeah.
You know?
When I used to be a beer vendor, I thought the craziest thing I saw, and I thought it was gross. I can't remember what beer brewery it was, but you could get them in 6-packs, and it was definitely more of a domestic beer company that was a microbrewer at one point, like Sam Adams. And it was orange beer and like chocolate porter, and you would mix it.
Whoa.
And it was supposed to be the taste of a lollipop, a Tootsie Pop.
Are those chocolates that you earn
you
the
could buy
shape
them at
of an
Food Lion,
orange?
and it was, gosh.
21st Amendment did a thing where they had a 6-pack. It was a mix. It was like 3 of this and 3 of that in your
Exactly.
6-pack. And it was called He Said, She Said. And one was like a fruited thing and one was like a spiced thing. And it came
Yes.
out in winter and you would like mix the
That was
two.
like
sounds
5
awesome.
years
I
ago.
wanna
That was
try
that was a
I
while.
can't.
Yeah.
This was
They don't
remember
do that
that.
anymore.
This
'cause
was 7 years ago at least.
the trends come and go. It's same thing with music, same thing with
always out of
art,
the
same thing
loop.
with fashion. Like you always just kind of have to like stay with it. And when people come in, they're like, "Hey, you guys used to sell that thing. What happened to that?" I'm like, either they don't make it anymore, or
I was
we
right
just
behind the
quit
trend for
carrying it.
the Shark song. Shark.
So,
Shark,
what would you
Shark,
think
Shark.
as a beer bottle kind of shop owner? What would you think is the trend right now for beer?
Yeah, I mean, well, hazy IPAs are a thing.
Oh
Yes.
God, there's so
I like
many.
hazy.
Stowe Vermont Alchemist.
I
I'm
hate
right.
IPAs, but hazy IPAs are awesome.
I find a lot of these local breweries and microbreweries now going back full circle, and they're starting to take on like pilsners and stuff too.
Yes, that's been a big thing too.
The New
Session
England
ales.
IPAs.
And
No, sessions, man. Sessions have been hitting it too because everybody's doing this like imperial this, double that, da da da. And then it's like, hey, what if we all just had like 4.5% beers or like 5.5% beers
Yeah.
that we could just drink and like have a few of them
Casual.
and still be able to drive home?
Yeah,
you
like a
know?
stout
or
that's
like
4%.
function.
But I've also
Yeah.
heard that it takes longer to do some of those beers, like the pilsners and stuff.
Well, pilsners take longer because I mean the whole process of lagering pilsners and lagers, you have to cold age them. You have to kind of let them set longer,
Yeah.
and because it's a bottom fermentation thing, like they just like all lagers, pilsners take longer anyway. But even when you're doing like a session IPA, it really doesn't take any more time. It actually takes less time because you're putting less stuff in it. Like everybody gets so crazy they will put all the things in it. I want to make a milkshake IPA with mango and blueberry and blackberry and lactose and vanilla and like graham cracker. And I'm like, dude, or you could just make a damn
try
IPA. You,
Yeah.
I mean, I know you would, but like, you could just make, like standard old beer.
Yeah, lagers are great. I love lagers.
Oh, lagers are the best.
Some people are like, "What's your favorite beer?" And I'll say Pilsner, and they're like, "Really?"
Nah, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
I love Pilsners
Dude,
in the
Pilsners
summertime.
they're crisp, they're clean. And also the thing about a Pilsner or a lager or a kind of standard, like old style beer, if you mess that recipe up, you have nothing to hide that behind.
Can't
If you
step
make
backwards.
a big old imperial stout with coffee and chocolate and oatmeal and blah, blah, and then if there's any like potential flavor flaws, you can't really pick up on the flaws because you put
It's
some
muddled.
more coffee in it, you put some more chocolate in it, you put some more whatever, you know? Like if you're just gonna make like a traditional, like straight up beer, if you mess that up, you can't hide anything behind that. That's just your own incompetence. Sorry, not sorry.
I was listening to this guy. He was talking about brewing, and basically, if they made something and it didn't work out, they would always just add fruit. Like, okay, this tastes like garbage. Let's go ahead and add fruit to it to save it.
Let's call it
And
Gossier.
it sucks having to do that, but like some people will just say, no, this is supposed to be a Kolsch and it's not good. And rather than like put a bunch of stuff in it, they just like sometimes they dump it. It's like, have you ever made food that's garbage?
Kimchi, I messed up.
Oh, girl, no.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
bad.
you mess
I'm
up
not gonna
kimchi.
lie.
That is
It
like,
had some cotton on the top, and I was like, maybe I'll try just a sliver of carrot.
no.
My stomach was mad at me throughout sleep that night.
Which is funny because kimchi is supposed to be good for you, but
And it's
none of
super
that
easy to
sounds-
make. Like, how did I do that? No, but I tried one at Mother Earth Brewing. I tried one there, and it reminded me of drinking out of a hose in the summertime.
Oh, the spigot.
Yeah.
That's
I was
actually
like,
a good memory. I
That's
like
a great
that.
nostalgic
Yeah.
memory.
on this closure, Waterline is celebrating their 5-year anniversary this past weekend.
Yep.
And we lost someone very awesome, and we'd like to commemorate and celebrate a larger-than-life personality of Waterline, one of the owners, Mark Anthony Mueller. You, Jason, and Micah know him way better.
Raise your glasses, darlings.
Thank you, Mark, for doing what you do.
Dude, Mark was he was a trip. He was larger than life, literally. And he had so much joy, and everybody knew him. Everybody loved him. He did so much. Like during Hurricane Florence, there's photos of him hanging out on Water Street when Water Street is like waist high in water, and he's just like hanging. But then he's out and he's helping people secure signage and outdoor seating and cleaning debris out of the streets, and was really involved in all the fundraising
Well, Shay
for Wilmington, like
quoted him
after
as like Port City's
unofficial mayor.
mayor
Yeah,
of Wilmington,
he
downtown
was.
Wilmington, which is
definitely
like
was.
that's a big. What did you say? You said you saw a live feed
Yeah.
of him out there.
Gosh, it's kind of sad. Like I mean, like probably 2, 3, 4 days before like everything was starting to break. Like I saw a live feed of him like hanging from like a rope
That's
at,
so
at the
cool.
Frying Pan Tower because he always volunteered there, and he would bring kegs of beer from Waterline to the Frying Pan Tower, which is like I don't think like 20 miles
It's
offshore.
quote unquote one of the most dangerous hotels
It's
in the world.
This shit is wild. There are
amazing.
like sharks all over it.
Yeah.
And then the funny thing is there's this video of him throwing an empty Waterline keg into the ocean, and everybody was like, that's pollution and blah, 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 blah. He was like, I jumped in there and fished it out.
Yeah,
and they like
he would
fished
jump
me and the
off
keg
the
out.
tower. He would.
Yeah.
But he was dangling from a rope, and he chugged a pint glass of Kolsch, or
Hanging
I like
over.
Kolsch because I love the Kolsch there.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
has
the Kolsch is
awards.
great.
So, yeah.
I like the coffee and
but
cream.
he was that was the
I like the
last thing,
red.
and yeah, I mean
Yeah.
I saw some live feed of him playing a game of pool, and I mean if you read about it, it's all over the internet. Like they're missing him out there on the Frying Pan
And we
Tower,
miss
too.
you, and we
And,
want to like give our condolences to
Yeah.
the family
I mean,
and friends.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
I remember like just from personally like with me and my business, besides guitar pickers I own, Little Green Booth, he was one of the reasons why I'm so big with that. Him and Rob and Eve, Maria, they let me set up a Volkswagen bus to take pictures of drunk people in their parking lot. And he came over, he's like, so I hear you own a photo booth. It's in the bus. And I'm like, yeah. Like, you want to hop in? And he got hooked on that. We were there every Oktoberfest. We were there every New Year's party.
Yeah.
And he was like, one more photo. Just one more photo. I got all my other friends. I'm like, okay. And he had like
Just
at
keep it
one point he
going.
had a Madd Hatterz hat. It was it was cool. Like he loved the photo booth, and I mean, we would talk business a lot.
Yeah,
because he had the brew bus.
That's how his
too.
brain worked.
Yeah.
He was always
And
like,
I feed off that.
It wasn't
I
just
loved
bus,
it.
like-
it wasn't just business. It was just cool things.
Yeah.
It was
The
like it's
quirky
not
things he would add.
it's not about just doing things to make money. It's about doing things to do things. And a lot of people all the time, but kind of especially 2020, a lot of us have gotten a little apathetic. But to see somebody who still wanted to do things just for the sake of doing things and do things for the sake of wanting to help and grow and make everything better, including yourself, but your community too. Like Mark was all that. Mark, I just like.
Yeah.
There's a positive energy.
I mean, he had some great
on
ideas.
behalf of the entire Cape Fear Wine and Beer crew, and the Cape Fear Wine and Beer crew is firmly entrenched with the Waterline crew. Obviously, like John Jacobs is my housemate.
John Jacobs, we wish you were here.
And then like Jordan, who works with Cape Fear Wine and Beer, his awesome wife Danny is the head brewer, and then like Maria's worked with Cape Fear, and like dude, our whole crew, like Maria and Rob, and it's just like it's been a rough week, but here we are. We're just gonna keep partying for Mark, because that's what Mark would have wanted.
Spender Cat.
I hope wherever Mark is, he's up there brewing beer with Dean.
And Dean Goodyear.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are killing me. So Dean, we had Dean's birthday party at Cape Fear on Sunday. We've got him to Beer Lord because Dean was such a schmo. He always put like the same 3 beers on his Beer Lord card. It was always like St. Peter's Ale, St. Peter's Cream Stout, Fuller's London Porter, Fuller's London Pride. And I was like, dude, we got to get him to Beer Lord because, Beer Lord is a very top secret beer club at Cape Fear. Right? I shouldn't even be talking about it. But for his birthday on Sunday, we got him to the goal of the super secret club. And it's been a rough week for everybody, losing Mark and then kind of re-experiencing the loss of Dean. But we're here.
Yeah.
And we are doing exactly what Mark would have wanted us to do and exactly what Dean would have wanted us to do. Yeah. And Mark and Dean are hanging out with all of our lost loved ones.
Okay, I've got Fender Cat in my lap right now, and he told me that I need to remind everybody to check out Mark at Local Voice Media, who has an article from Beer Tracker on Port City 7 for 7 holiday beers. And
which
Wilmington
I really want
and
to try
Cape
those.
Beer. Yeah, there's some tasty ones there. Also, beer news. New Anthem released the Path I Fear Imperial, aka Double Pastry Stout. I want to say check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and now on YouTube. And we want to say Merry Christmas and thank you, Micah, for being here from Cape Fear Wine and Beer.
Happy Hanukkah.
And happy Hanukkah. Happy Festivus.
Happy holidays.
All of the above.
Holidays.
Thank you guys so much. Stay tuned for the new year's episode.
Bye.